Well, hello all. Isn't it interesting? You go all the way up on a hike for hours and you do a recording and you forget to push the record button. So when you get back, you have to redo the video. Something else. Well, what we're going to talk about today is how the planet Earth is being systematically destroyed by humans who say they want to save wetlands and grasslands and forests and open prairie areas, but yet they go and approve constant new development all over the land, new housing, new areas for industry, and it just keeps going, whether it's on the land, on top of the ocean, under the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't matter where it is. Humans just keep on digging and wiping out what was there and putting what they want there instead. And let's take an example of what's happening here in the U.S. A developer confirmed funding for a massive new Rio Grande gas terminal will be built in Brownsville, Texas. After years of delay, an industrial developer said that it had funding to proceed with construction of a massive new gas liquefaction facility and an export terminal at the same site. This will be built in the wild green fields of wetlands of the Rio Grande Delta. Houston-based Next Decade company said it secured $5.9 billion in financing for international partners to begin work immediately. When completed, 5 giant compressor units, each designed to process 5.4 million metric tons of liquefied natural gas per year, will make the 750-acre facility among the largest export terminal in the nation and in the world. This will push oil and gas production in Texas to record highs. 7 such LNG export terminals have cropped up on the U.S. coastline in the last 8 years. Another 11 are also approved for construction to begin later in the year or next year. Rio Grande Delta, as the last local organizations who hoped to preserve the Rio Grande Delta as the last major inlet on the Gulf Coast of Texas, still free from fossil fuel facilities like refineries, chemical plants, and export terminals. Let's look at the Cancer Alley area of Texas where all these plants are being built. Now, the problem with compressing natural gas and sending it off to Europe and Asia, as what is all this gas is going to be used for, is that when they compress natural gas, you lose half of it and you have to throw it away, and it goes into the atmosphere as CO2 and methane. Then once the ship gets to Europe and Asia, then half of that will be lost to the atmosphere, and you'll end up with a quarter of the original natural gas that was pumped out of the ground here in the U.S. So 3/4 of all that natural gas that was pumped out of the U.S. wells here will all be lost into the atmosphere and add to tremendous amounts of CO2 and methane into the atmosphere. Now, they're saying the reason that all this natural gas is needed for Europe and Asia is because these countries used to get a lot of their natural gas from Russia, but because of the war in Ukraine, they have stopped exporting all their natural gas. So the U.S. has to compress all this gas and send it over to Europe to fill the void. Unfortunately, war is the cause of all these new facilities being built here in the U.S. And the natural wetlands and coastlines are being destroyed because of this. Now, the politicians, whether they're on the left or the right, are the ones that are approving these things. It was Donald Trump before, it's Biden now, and they're approving all these oil exploitation all over the U.S. and the rest of the world in the deep sea, because humans keep birthing and keep populating themselves. We're over 8 billion now, headed toward 9 billion. And if we really think that there's enough alternative energy to fulfill what's the fossil fuel development. It just isn't going to happen. And unfortunately, we're the ones that are going to suffer. Like in today and tomorrow here in California, we're expecting 100-degree temperatures. It's already pretty boiling hot this morning already, and it's just going to get hotter and hotter as the day goes on. And then tomorrow we're supposed to get up to 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Much of Texas is over 100 degrees. Palm Springs and the south area of California and New Mexico and Nevada are all going to be 120 degrees or even higher. Florida will have close to 100 degrees with almost 100% humidity, causing severe wet bulb temperatures. And unfortunately, our leaders, who are always in air conditioning, never notice it, or if they do, they just say, oh, it's hot, let's get into the nice air-conditioned limo and get to our next destination. They don't have to suffer through it like the rest of us do. So, any comments on this? Any ups? Any new subscribers will definitely be appreciated for the Pink Barrio. And unfortunately, YouTube has started removing all my new subscribers, which was to be expected. YouTube does not like any kind of channel that tells it like it is, and they would prefer to have a Disney type channel, silly and stupid and ridiculous. So if you're serious about something, they won't give you your new subscribers, or if some come in, they immediately take them away in a couple days later, and that's what's happening now. So we're now losing subscribers once again. So if you'd like to try and subscribe and see how long it lasts, go for it. And I appreciate you watching, and until next time.